Good evening, all. Dear participants, can you please confirm? Am I audible? Is my screen properly visible? So we'll start with today's class. I welcome you all to this day 2 of Python class of this virtual internship. So in the last class, we have seen about variables and the syntax for Python. Today we will be seeing about data types in Python. Okay. So we'll start with data types. So in data types, we'll be covering about numeric data type, sequence, set, dictionary and boolean. So these are the topics we are going to cover one by one with examples. So if you are interested, you can open your Google Colab also. You can do along with me. You can try that also. And what is a data type? Okay, these are datas, and data type refers to the type of classification, okay, of data that a variable or value can hold. And these data types are automatically determined by the interpreter based on the value assigned to a variable. Okay, so in some other language you have to mention what type of data it is, but in Python you don't need to mention it. The interpreter will automatically determine which type of data you are mentioning, so based on the way you are assigning. Okay, so we'll start with the first one, numeric data type, which is numbers. Okay, so in numbers we have three types. So the first one will be the integer, which is a whole number without any decimal points. Regarding the float, it is with decimal points. And then the third one is complex numbers. It has an imaginary part. Okay, so these three types are allowed in numbers in Python. So we'll start by creating these things in Google Colab. I'll open my Colab file. Okay, so in the variable x, let me create integer 20. Okay, this is an integer. In variable y, let me store a float number 2.3. okay, in z, let me create a complex number 2 plus 4j. okay, this will be the imaginary part. So these three things are accepted in Python in numerical data type. So I can print x, y, z, print x, print y, print z. Okay, see here, all these things, it didn't show any error, and you can actually check which type of data you are mentioning. Okay, and to check that, what you have to do is you can call the print option, and inside that you are going to call the type. Okay, so this will tell you whatever variable you are passing in, okay, that the variable will be holding something, right, some data. So what type of data it is, this will tell you. If I pass the x here, if I run this, see here, it belongs to the class int. Okay, this is an integer, this 20 is an integer. Okay, and similarly I can print the type of y. It belongs to the class float because this y is decimal points, right? And finally we'll try to check the type of z, and there we are having a complex number. Clear till now? Did you guys got what this, how to check this type and about this numerical data types which is allowed in Python? And regarding if it is a numerical data type, Okay, if it is a numerical data type, then we won't be mentioning it inside a quotation mark. If you mention it inside quotation, it will be considered as a string. Regarding the numbers, if you are going to use it in the numerical data type, you have to mention the numbers as such without quotation mark. So then the interpreter will consider this is belong to the numeric data type, and in that this x is storing an integer 2.3, this y is storing a float number, and this z is storing a complex number. Is it clear? Participants, do you guys have any doubt, or can we move on to next one? Please be interactive in chat box. Yes? Similarly, what if, okay, you are having one number, okay, a numerical data type, in that we are having three types, right? You can convert this from one type to another, from this to this or this to this, you can interconvert them. So which is known as typecasting. And how to do it is, you can use this int option, okay, if you pass some float number or complex number inside this int option, this will give you an integer of that number, okay. Similarly, if you want to convert any number into a float number, then you can pass it inside this float. If you want to convert it into a complex number, you can pass it inside this complex. So this is what the type conversion is, like this. See here, I am calling a int and I am passing a float number. This will give me a integer, okay. Integer of this value will be 5. Similar case, you can use this float and complex number also. We will check this. So let me reduce the size a little bit. Okay, so let me print integer of, okay, we'll pass this y value. Y is a float number, right? I'm going to convert it into a integer. So that 2.3 will be converted into 2. Okay, so we are converting this y is storing a float number, it is converted into an integer. Similarly, x is an integer, right? I am going to convert this into a float number. So how to do it is, let me print float, okay, of x. You can directly pass the number or you can give the variable here. Fine. So this 20 is now converted into a decimal point, 20.0. So this is a float number. Similarly, let me convert, okay, into a complex number using complex. Let me pass the y here, okay, 2.3 plus 0j. Clear? So we have completed about the numerical data type. The first type of data we have completed. Next we will be moving on into the sequence. So regarding sequence in Python, this is another type of data which comprises of three things. So okay, these are like similar characters. I'll tell you what it is. The first one will be a string, the second one will be a list, and third one will be a tuple. So there are three things inside this sequence type. So we'll start with the string, okay. So please understand about the string concept, it is very basic. And in similar case, we will be seeing about list and tuple. So make sure you understand this exactly. We will start with string now. So what is a string? String is like a text denotation. Okay, you can mention a number or text or word or letters. Okay, you can store it and manipulate these things. To mention a string, you have to pass it inside quotation mark. So as we saw in yesterday's class regarding the syntax, in quotation, Python accepts single quotation and double quotation. Okay, no issue. You can use this single quotation to mention this hello. We have printed, right? Print inside the parenthesis we are passing quotation hello world, right? Similarly, you can use this single quotation or you can use this double quotation. But the thing is, if you start with the single quotation, please end with single quotation. If you start with double quotation, please end with double quotation. Don't interconvert. If you start with the single one and ending with the double one, it is going to show you error. please avoid that. And regarding numbers, you can give it inside this quotation mark. If you give any number or symbol or anything inside quotation mark, it will be considered as a string. So with this 40, this is belonging to a string type. You cannot use it for further mathematical operations. So regarding the numerical data type, I can do perform mathematical operation here, 10 plus 10, or I can do max. It will show me the output. Okay, it will do mathematics. But here, if it is a string, then you cannot do mathematical operation because this is a string, not a number. Fine. So we'll create one. Okay, single quotation, I am printing hello. But make sure you can pass the double quotation also. It is going to print the answer. But see here, if I call like this and if I end this like this, it is obviously going to show me error. Okay, to avoid this error, please make sure you are starting and ending with same type of quotation mark. You can store a number also in the form of a string. So this is a string, this 40. Okay, so this is what a string is. So now we are going to see about what all things you can do with this string, what all options available in Python. So to find the length of a string, you can call this len. Okay, this is going to return me length of a string. So what is that is means, so we will be having a string, for example this face. Okay, if it is a string, if I store it in a variable, I can check. Okay, I can pass the name of the variable here with inside this len. So this contains of 4 letters, right? So it is going to return me 4. So each one is different here. So it is going to count and give me the output. We'll try to do this in this. Let me create y equal to hello. So now let me print the length of y. Okay, so if I pass this, so it is returning the value 5. So how? This hello is composed of 5 letters starting from H, E, L, L, O. Okay, so it is returning 5. You can find the length of it. Okay. So with this, in the next slide, see here, we are going to see some concept which is known as indexing. So indexing is like giving serial number for these letters which is present inside a string. Okay. Inside a string, there will be combination of sequence, right? These things. So individually you will be giving some numbers and it is called as index. And the thing is, in Python, the index number starts from 0. So in the first index, okay, which means in 0th index, the number 0, the value p is present. So if a string in the name Python is there, means in the 0th index it is p, in the first index it is y, in the second index it is t, and so on. So totally if the length is 6, which means the count is 6, means it starts from 0, so it will end till 5, right? With this, what I can do is, if I am having a variable known as Python here, in x I am having Python, if I need the value which is present in the 0th index, so I can take that alone. To take that, what you can do is, you can call the variable x, and with that you have to call the square bracket, and inside of it you have to pass the index number. I hope it is visible below. See here, I am printing, if you print x, it is going to print you this whole Python. If I want this p alone, which is present in the 0th index, okay, if it is present in the 0th index, then I can call the square bracket and pass the 0. Okay, so this will give me the output p. So I will show you. Let me print y first. So it is hello, and let me print in y with square bracket. Inside I can mention the index number which I need. For example, this e will be in the first index. So if I enter 1 here, it is going to return me e in the output. Okay. Similarly, if I need some other number, okay, I can call some other index number. Let me call the 0th index, so which is going to be h. Okay, this is how you can take individually with the help of index number. You can access the string with the help of index number by mentioning it inside square bracket. Is it clear how to use this index number to access individual elements present inside a string? Any doubts? Regarding string slicing, this is another concept where we'll be using the index number. So slicing is something like splitting, right? So for example, if you are having a lengthy string and you want like from this position to this position, I need that alone. In that case, what you can do is you can call this string slicing. So how to mention it is, you can in similar way you will be mentioning the index number, right? Here using square bracket we are passing one number, right? So this is, it will take that index alone. But here with the help of colon, I can mention the starting and ending index. So if I mention 1 here, the thing which is before this colon is the starting index. So it will start from this 1, okay? This E is in the first index. So if I need from E, okay, it is going to take, and the thing in the ending index is, if you mention 4 here, it is going to return you till 3, okay? It is the case with the ending index. In ending index, it is going to return you one step before. So if it is 1, it will start from 1, this E. If you call till 4 here, it is going to give you till 3. So it will take E, L, L and it will be in the output. Okay, it is alone, will be in the output. And this indexing, I forgot to told you, this number starts from 0 and end till this, right? You can give the negative indexing also. So this 0 will be 0, but when you start in the reverse case, it will be -1 here. So this -1, the last letter will be there, and then in the reverse case it will come, you can slice with that also, okay? So if you need this E till this L, you can call from -4 till -1, so it is going to return you till -2, because always the ending index will give you one step before. In Y, let me mention like this hello is there, right? So let me take from first index till third index. So if I mention 3 here, it is going to return me till 2. So it will give E and L, because I have mentioned 3 here, so it will give me till 2 only. So the first and second index is going to be in the output, okay? I can take in the reverse case also, from -3 till -1. Okay, so this is giving me LL, so I have to call from -4 till -2. We got this EL, okay? It is in the reverse case. And there is another option also. For example, I'll show you. There is a third option you can mention with the colon. So if we create a new variable, x equal to, okay, this contains many letters now. So let me print x from 0th index till, okay, we'll start from the 4th index till end. If I don't know the number of the ending index, I can leave it empty. If I mention this colon here, if I leave it empty, it is going to give me till the last one. It is going to start from 4, but the ending index is empty, so it is going to give me the everything from there. Okay, it starts from the 4th index and give me everything. Similarly, if I don't know the first index, okay, I can mention it as 0 or I can leave it empty. If I give 5 here, it is going to give me till 4th index, the ending index. Hello. Okay. And if I leave it empty in both the sides, it is obviously going to take from the 0th index till the last index. So it will give me the whole thing. And there is another option also here. You can mention the step also with the help of colon, another colon. So if I mention another colon here, if I mention 2 here, this third thing will represent the step, which means for every one interval it is going to give me the value in 2 step. So it is like, see here, this H and this E is skipped now, this L will be printed, and this L is skipped now, this O is printed, this W is skipped and O is printed, this R is skipped, then L is printed in that sense. You can mention 3 here, then 2 things will be skipped there. Okay, H, then this L, this last L, and then it will leave the O and W, then this O, then it is going to leave the R and L, and it is going to print the D. Okay, this is how we can use the string slicing. And with this third thing, another thing you can do is you can reverse the entire string. If you mention -1 here, in place of step, if you mention -1, in the third place if you mention -1, it is going to give you the entire thing in reverse order. See here, it has given the string in the reverse order. You can mention the third option where you can mention this -1, which will give you in the reverse case. Okay, clear? The next topic will be string concatenation. So in X I am having hello, okay, it is a string, and in Y I am having world, which is another string. To concatenate two strings, please listen, to concatenate two strings, what you can do is you can call this plus operator like max, but these are strings, right? So it is going to combine the two things like this and give you the whole one. Okay, I'll show you. And before that, we'll see what is a number. So if you store a numerical data type like this, x equal to 30 and y equal to 40, I can print x plus y. So this is a numeric data type, right? Why? Because we are not giving it inside quotation mark. It is a number. It is a whole number. It is belong to the integer of numeric data type. I'm going to add x and y, and when I do that, I got the result as 70. So these are numeric data type. It can add and give you mathematical output. Similarly, you can add a string. This is a string hello, and in y I am having another string world. Okay, so I can print x plus y. Okay, we got hello world. And another thing, please don't confuse, if I am having a string which is obviously a numerical representation like this 40 and y equal to 4 for example, okay, but these are not belonging to numerical data type, these are strings. So if I print x plus y, what will be the output now? Tell me in chat box. This is a string, okay. See here, the above representation is a string. It is giving me the output hello world. So it combined the two things. This is 40 and this is 4, but it is a string, not a numeric data type. Okay, now if I combine this, what will be the output? Yes, correct, 404. Why? Because it is just combining the strings, right? So please don't get confused. If it is a numeric data type, you have to give it in this way without a string. Okay. So next, if you want to combine, okay, if you want to combine a string and a numeric data type, you cannot do that. You will be getting error. Okay, so see here, I am having 40 here. I place hello here. So this is a string. This is a numeric data type. So if I try to add both of these things, it is not same. So it is going to give you an output error. Unsupported operand type. Okay, so to avoid this error, if you want to actually combine a string and a numeric data type, then you can go with string formatting. So what is this formatting is? We cannot directly combine strings and numbers, but we can combine strings and numbers by using this format method. Okay, and the placeholder, which is like where you have to place the number, you can call with this curly braces. Okay, so to mention a format method, you can call this f, which should be before this quotation mark. It should be before this quotation mark. I can mention this f here, and I have to call the curly braces, and inside of that, if I pass a variable, that value will be placed there. This 20 is a numeric data type. This is a string, and using this format method and placeholder, this 20 will be placed here. Okay, so let me repeat the same. print, okay, without this f I'll show you. This age is, okay, see here, the curly braces is for creating a placeholder, but no place is created because it is, if I run this, it is going to print me this thing entirely. It is not going to pass this 20 inside. So if I want to do that, I have to call the format method, f here. See here, the color of this age got changed. If I run this 20 will be substituted here. This is what known as string formatting. This will be useful in many cases. So please remember this f. This is a formatted string, it will mention, and you have to create this curly braces so that you can create a place for it and you can pass the value inside. And regarding string methods, there are many methods here. We'll see all of these things in slide, and then we'll go back and see it practically in Colab. Okay, we'll move a little bit fast. So regarding the string methods, I'll start with the capitalize method. So if I have a sentence like this, okay, the first one is in small letter. If I call this dot capitalize, okay, I can call this variable x dot capitalize, okay. If this will give me an output with this h in caps, other thing will be small. Whatever the thing is in caps, it will be convert everything into small. Only the first one will be in the caps. Regarding the upper and lower, see here, I have made an example here. The first one is in small letters and the last one is fully in caps. Okay. If I call this x dot upper, everything will convert into capital letter. Okay, all will be in caps. And if I convert this dot lower, it is going to convert everything into small one. Okay, everything will be converted into small one. And there is an option for replace. Okay, you can call this x. I am storing it in a new variable y. I am doing this operation and storing it in y. So I am calling this x dot replace. So this replace, you have to pass two things. The first one will be which is the thing you are going to replace from your x. You are calling x to replace. In that I am going to replace this L. Okay, wherever L is present, I am going to replace with K. So the next one will be the new thing you are going to replace. If I mention these things, it will be stored in y. If I print that, it is going to return me output. All this L will be changed to K. Like with this, you can replace this thing. Regarding split, there is another option for splitting a string. So you can call the x and call this dot split. And in that, inside quotation, you have to pass in which place you are going to split. If I want to split this gap, okay, I have to specifically leave a space here. So this will search for the space. Wherever the space is, it is going to split you and give it separately. We'll see that in practical example. And regarding another option, which is find. If you want to find W, okay, this find will give you the index number of the value which you are mentioning in your string. In X, I am going to find the W, which will be in like position 6 and 7. This will be in the 7th index, I hope so. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be in the 6th index. And that value will be shown in the output. And we will see these things. So with this, we will be covering these strings. So first one will be capitalized, right? So let me call this x equal to, see here, the h is in small letter. I'll do like this and let me print x dot capitalize. See here, these things, extra things have been converted into small letters. Only this h will be in the capital letter. This is what this capitalize it. Similarly, in y, let me create this hello, let it be in small, and this world, let it be in caps letter, so that we can use this. So the first one, I am going to print y dot upper, and below that, let me print y dot lower. See here, in the upper, the first result, it is giving me everything in capital letter. You can actually present a string also here. So with the help of comma, you can actually print extra things. So let me create something like a string here. I am using quotation mark, comma. Okay, now you can give with this thing, this output is going to execute. I'll run this. See here, it is giving a representation upper. This is like a string, you can just mention it. Comma, you have to mention comma here, otherwise you will be getting error. and I'm passing this value here, so it is giving me. Similarly, we can do this neatly here also. I'll mention a comma before this, lower. Okay, so this is the result of upper and lower. Okay, it is going to be completely caps, this will be completely small letter, whatever the thing you are passing. Next one, we'll call the replace option and see what is the result. Okay, again x equal to hello world. Okay, let me store it in a new variable y, x dot replace. Okay, the first thing which I am going to change is L. Okay, I am going to replace this L with, let me mention K, and finally let me print Y. Okay, I am storing it in the variable Y, so this value will be placed there. See here, the place where L is there, it is going to change into K. Okay, and the next one will be splitting it. Okay, let me call this x and split now in z equal to x dot split. So to split that, you have to mention where you are going to split. I'll mention the space here, so in that space I am going to split it. I'll print this z. See here, it is giving separately with the help of comma, but this is a different type of data which is known as list. We are going to see about list next now. This is a list. Okay, so it is giving me separately two things. It will split based on the space. If I leave another space here, I'll run this. This is a space now, this is another space. If I run this split now, it is going to search for the space and split that also. And the next one will be find. Okay, so let me find x equal to hello, let me find y equal to x dot find whatever this thing you have to find, h, let me find the h and I'll print y. Okay, it is in the 0th index, so it is returning me 0. So we have completed the first type of sequence, which is string. The next one will be list. We'll start with list. Okay, so what is a list? As we saw now, we got the output, right? I told you it is a list. So how did I find it as a list? If a collection of items is enclosed inside square bracket, then it is going to be called as a list. Okay, a list is a collection of items enclosed inside square brackets. We will be using some other brackets to mention some other data type. So please remember, if it is a list, it is going to be stored in square brackets. And lists are ordered, which means whatever the order you are storing, it will be in that order, and it can store any data type, which means we can store the integer there. In a single list, you can store an integer or a string. Okay, you can store all these things. And the next thing is lists are mutable. What is that word mutable means is, mutable means you can change, you can alter this once you create it. Okay, it is possible, and items can be modified after they are created. So that's what a list is. And see here, you can store any of these things. I am storing apple, orange and banana. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll create a list now. Let's create a fresh code. X equal to apple, orange, 112 here, 1.2. All these things are possible. Okay, you can store it in a single list. And let me print x. Okay, we got the output. Now, it is similar, it is also a sequence data type, right? Similar to a string, list is also a sequence data type. So actually what is the thing is, if you can take something which is present in the 0th index of a list also. But what will be present in the 0th index is, in a list, in the 0th index it will be apple, not A. Okay, it is like a collection of item, right? So the single item will be in the taking the entire index. So in the 0th index it is going to be apple, the first index it is going to be orange, and in the second index it is going to be banana. If I try to access with the help of index number, print x of 0, it is going to return me apple. Okay, and in same case, if I mention the second index, it is going to give me 12. But what if I need to take this A, okay, this A alone, which is in the 0th index, if I want to take that, I can call, okay, print x of 0, this will give me apple, and after that call another square bracket and pass the index number there. So this will go into apple and take the a alone. If I need the L here, it will be in the third index, right? See here we got the L. So in this case you can go into a list and access that elements also. Similarly you can access a range of index, which means slicing obviously. For example, this will be in the 0th index, first, second, third and fourth, right? So if I need from first index till the end, I am going to call from 1:5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There is no 5, but if I mention 5 here, it is going to give me till 4, right? So it will give from orange, banana, kiwi and strawberry. So we will try in this. We are having 4 things, right? Let me store some other thing also here. Let me copy this thing and store it newly. Okay, from x, let me call from first index till third index. So it will, if I mention 4, it is going to give me till 3. So the orange, 12 and 1.2. First index, second index, third index. Okay, you can do it in reverse also. You can use a step also, it is common. So next one will be how to change an item which is present in a list. Okay, you are having a list, but if you want to change that, how will you do that? Okay, you can mention the index number. So I can call this x, and in the second index I am having banana actually. So I can use this equal to operator to set a new thing. So if I mention pineapple here, it is going to change this banana into pineapple. We will try to do it here. You can just need to call with the help of index number, mention, okay. In the 0th index it is apple, right? Let me change this 0th index is equal to banana. I'll run this. So let me print x now, it will be changed. This is how you can manipulate, you can change the thing. As I told you earlier, list is mutable, right? Which means you can change something which is actually present already given. It is changed. And there is another option which is known as insert. So what this insert will do is, it will insert, you have to mention the index number where you want to place and the value you are going to place. If I mention 1, pineapple, so in the first index it will be orange, right? So it is going to adjust this thing to the next, okay. This pineapple will be stored in the next to apple before this orange in the first index. So the other thing, the index will be changed, okay. And there is another option which is known as append. So in append you don't want to mention any index number, it is going to add in the end. That's what this append is. So this pineapple will be gets added in the end. So if you pass another thing, it will be added in the end. So it will be added in the ending. That's what is append and insert is. We'll start with insert. Let me add the apple again. Okay, let me call x.insert. Okay, I have to insert it in the second index, comma, which I need to insert apple. I'll print x. See here, it is going to adjust these things to the next index and it is going to add it here. Okay. Similarly, if you want to add something in the end, so you can call x.append. See here, it got added in the end. So whatever you are passing will be added in the end when you call this append. And there is, if you have two lists in two variable and if you want to combine those things, you can call this extend. Okay, it is going to call, if I call x.extend of y, in x it will be updated, not in y. Okay, if you pass y.extend of x, it is going to add in y the x. But here it is x.extend of y. So all these things which is present in the x, along with that this y will be added there in the x. So already in x we are having many things, right? So let me create a y with zeros only. Okay, a list with 0. Now what I am going to do is, let me call x.extend y and let me print x. See here, the y will be gets added in the end. If I want to do the reverse case, then I have to call the y to extend the x. So along with x, okay, it is going to add those things there. I'll print y. See here, along with y, the things present in x. So now x is this, right? So it is going to append those things in the end. That's what this extend is. And we have seen about how to replace a value, how to insert that, how to add that, how will we remove something which is present in a list. See here, I want to remove, I am having these things apple, orange and banana. If I want to remove one thing, then I can call x to remove, dot remove. I have to mention what is the string there, okay, sorry, what is the thing you are going to remove, what is the element name. So if I want to remove this apple, it is going to remove that using dot remove. So now y is having these things, right? Let me call y dot remove, okay, 0. So let me remove all the zeros here. So let me print y now. Okay, it will remove the first one. See here, in the 4 things, see here, now only 4 zeros are there. If I want to remove banana, let me call y to remove banana and I'll print y. See here, the banana is removed from this list. Okay. So with this, you have to, when you use remove, you have to mention the exact element which you are going to remove. But what if you want to use the index number to remove, if you want to do that, you can call this dot pop. Okay, this pop will take the element, it will find the index number and it will take that. This banana is in the index number 2, right? So it will take that element. Okay. Let me mention which is present. This, let's take this orange, which will be in 4th index, and I'll print y. Okay, orange is removed. So you can use this pop to remove with index number and remove to actually mention the element and remove that. And if you want to clear your entire list, then you can call this dot clear. This will clear everything and you will be left with an empty list. Okay. So the next thing will be sorting a list. So if you have, okay, if you have a number, it is going to sort from increasing order, from in ascending order, from small number to largest number. And if you have letters or a string, it is going to convert, okay, in the alphabetical order using sort. Let me clear this y now. Y dot clear, print y. Okay, it is going to give me empty list. Now, so the next one will be sorting the list. Let me create a x. Okay, let me give numbers. So if I want to sort this, I can call x dot sort. Print x. Okay, so it will start in this order. In y, let me create. So if I sort this, y dot sort, it will be in the alphabetical order. Okay, so this is what this is. And if you want to do the reverse thing, then what you have to actually do is, you have to do in the bracket using this sort, you can set reverse equal to true. Okay, so this true is something known as another data type, which is a boolean data type, true or false. We will see that in later slides. The first letter should be in the capital letter, capital T. Okay, if it is false, it will be in the capital F. So in the descending order or reverse order, if you want, you can call this reverse equal to true. I'll show you here itself. If I pass reverse equal to true, so see this thing, if I run this again, it will go from the biggest number to smallest number, and here also reverse equal to true, it will be in the reverse order. Okay. And if you want to copy your list, if you want to make another copy, then you can call this x dot copy. You can store it in another variable. So in y, this x, a copy will be there, but x and y are different. If you are manipulating y, if you are changing that, y won't be disturbed, and if you are changing y, x won't be disturbed. You can copy, okay, is that equal to y dot copy print z. So y is this, right, which is reversed here, so it is going to, in yz it is going to store. So these are the things with list. So the next one is tuple. So tuple is the last data type, okay, last type of data in the sequence. Okay, so in tuple, what is a tuple? How will I find if it is a tuple? Tuple is a collection of items enclosed inside parenthesis. Okay, tuple is a collection of items enclosed inside parenthesis. So if it is inside parenthesis, it is a tuple. So like list, tuple are ordered and can be of any data type. Okay, it is ordered and it can store any data type. But what is the difference between a list and tuple is? Tuple is immutable. Okay, what is this immutable is? Once you create a tuple, you cannot change. Okay, you cannot change that from one form to another. So that's what the thing with tuple is. In list we have done this, right? We have changed in the 0th index. I have changed that. Okay, so I can change the element which is present once I create it, but with tuple you cannot do that. That's what the thing with tuple is. It is unmutable, which means you cannot change that. And you can access it similar case like a list or a string. With 0th index it is going to give you apple, with first index it will be orange, and so on. You can also take it from a range. Okay, from this range to that range you can take that. It is simple and similar. So the tuple is immutable. Okay, I'll show you. Let me create my tuple equal to you can access same way. Okay, sorry, I'll print my tuple, and in that from first index till third one. So it is simple, you can do this, but you cannot actually change. Okay, I can call this my tuple, and in first index let me set this to orange. If I run this, it is going to show me error because this is not possible in a tuple. Okay, it is immutable. So how will you change actually? If you need to change this, okay, what you can actually do is you can convert this tuple into a list. Okay, to convert a tuple into a list, you can call this list option, and inside if you are passing any sequence, if it is a string or a tuple, if I pass this tuple here, this will be converted into a list and stored in y. So now y is having these things in a list. So a list can be mutable, right? So in the 0th index I am changing that to kiwi. So once I change that, I am going to call the tuple option. Okay, this will convert back into a tuple. So if I pass a list here, this y will be a list with changed thing. This will convert this into a tuple back, and it is stored in x again. We'll try to do this. So my tuple has these things. Okay, so let me create x equal to a list, and in this option I am going to pass this my tuple. So I'll print x. Okay, so now it is changed into a list, right? This tuple is changed into a list. So let me call this x, and in the 0th index let me store it to 100. I'll print x. Now this 1 will be changed into 100. It is a list. Now I want my tuple back in the variable tuple. So my tuple equal to, I'll call this tuple option. Okay, and I'll pass this x there. So this x is a list now, will be converted into a tuple back with changed 1. I'll print my tuple. So this thing is now back into a tuple, and our operation is successful, right? We have changed that thing. And in similar case, if you want to remove something, then you cannot do it directly in a tuple. You have to convert it into a list, and then you can remove that thing which you want to remove. Or if you want to take with the index number, you can call this .pop option. So once you've done that, you can convert it back into a tuple. Okay, that's what the difference between a list and a tuple is. to combine two tuple, you can use this plus operator. How will you combine a list? How will you combine two lists? We'll be using that. Which option? How will you combine two lists? What is the thing which we have used? What is the thing? It is extend. Okay, in a list it is extend. But in a tuple, if you want to combine two things, you can call this plus operator. It will combine two tuple. So in X we are having this. In Y, let me create zeros. If I want to add these things, I'll print X plus Y. Okay, so we got an error. Let me create in X again. So before printing that, let me create a new variable X plus Y. Okay, I'll print Z now. So it will combine those things and give me an output. Not in the print option, but you have to do it beforehand. Okay. And next will be set. So we have completed two type of data. So remaining three is small. So we can complete it in next class. So in today's class, we have seen two important data types, which is numeric data type, and in sequence we have completed all the three string list tuple. Okay, we have completed these two, and we will complete the remaining thing in next session. Okay, in tomorrow's class. So till now, do you guys have any doubt? Any doubts, or can we wind up today's session? So regarding set, it is similar to a list and tuple. We'll see that in tomorrow's class. But make sure you remember all these things. So from tomorrow, we'll be seeing some exercises in this class also. So I hope the attendance link is in chat box. Please find. And if you guys have any doubt, please try to contact and clarify. And make sure you'll be getting this PPT. Please make sure you are thorough with numeric data type, and in sequence we have covered string, list and tuple. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you. We'll see you in tomorrow's class.